Thursday Night Football predictions. Yeah.
Welcome to part 2 of this 4-part series. If you have not seen part 1, go in the description, watch that, and enjoy that before you come over here and watch part 2. After you're done with that, please come back and watch part 2. Thank you.
With the third choice in the 2006 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Vince Young, quarterback, University of Texas.
Breaking the chain of quarterbacks selected first overall, we have Vince Young, the Texas superstar, selected third by the Tennessee Titans in the 2006 NFL Draft. He played all but the last year of his 6 years with the Tennessee Titans, and the last year he played with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this section is going to be a bit different from the other ones, because I want to talk about his NFL career, but what I mainly want to talk about is how he got there, and how that led to the NFL and what he did. And if you know anything about college football, you know what game I'm talking about. The 2005 National Championship game / Rose Bowl against USC, where he led his team to the national championship and secured his spot as a champion. This game went back and forth throughout the game, but Vince Young managed to come out on top, like I just said, and beat USC in the national championship game 41-38 and secured his spot as a champion. This and the rest of his accomplishments in college football helped him to snag this spot at the 3rd overall selection and helped him to become one of the most hyped up prospects ever. Although he wasn't the most hyped up prospect that year, that was probably Reggie Bush. Now, with all that in mind, he really didn't do much in his NFL career. I mean, he had a couple good games, but can you really remember a lot of what he did in his NFL career? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, if he was like a Chad Pennington, where he's like selected 18th overall, or like a Kenny Pickett where he's selected 20th or somewhere around there, I might move him up a couple spots. But because he was selected 3rd overall, and most people had him going 2nd, I will put him in the below average tier.
Now, before I give you the rundown of this next quarterback, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this hat. Well, that's because doing further research on this unique quarterback made me pull out my hair from how unique this guy is. So, hope you don't mind that. And without further ado, let's continue.
With the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select quarterback Jamarcus Russell, LSU.
There are mediocre quarterbacks, there are bad quarterbacks, there are quarterbacks who are completely trash, and then there's Jamarcus Russell. So, how did Jamarcus Russell go from being number 1 overall selected in the 2007 draft to being one of the biggest busts in NFL history?
Say that. I am a person that believes in second chances. I think America is the land of second chances, except for when it comes to this dude, Mr. Jabba the Hutt, you fat, slovenly, no good, lazy
come on,
bum of a
that's a
quarterback.
little...
Ask any member of the Oakland Raiders who played alongside this dude. This dude should be arrested for being a thief. Never gave 2 cents about the Oakland Raiders. Didn't care whether they won, didn't care whether they lost, constantly changed his expression. The only time we saw him give a speck of effort was when he was literally caught on camera blowing his nose.
Obviously, you know the answer, but let's get into the details. After spending 3 years as a quarterback in LSU, hype around Jamarcus Russell was intense. It was so intense that the Oakland Raiders decided to draft him number 1 overall in the 2007 draft. However, as soon as he was drafted, there were immediately some issues. Because of some disagreement over his contract, he was holding out until it was agreed to sign Jamarcus Russell to a 6-year, $68 million contract with $31.5 million guaranteed. But even after signing his contract, he officially didn't start until the very last game of the 2007 season. The very next season, he was announced as the starting quarterback, but was able to lead his team to only a 5-11 record. Then, during the 2009 season, he was announced as the starter again, but halfway throughout the season, he was benched for backup quarterback Bruce Gradkowski, who honestly had a better career. By the end of the season, Jamarcus Russell had the lowest quarterback rating, the lowest completion percentage, the fewest passing touchdowns, and the fewest passing yards amongst all the other quarterbacks in the NFL at the time. During the offseason, in March 2010, Jamarcus Russell reported to the Raiders training camp weighing at approximately 290 pounds, which, believe it or not, was heavier than Jared Lorenzen, who to this day is still the heaviest quarterback to ever play in the NFL at 285 pounds. R.I.P. Jared.
Hi everybody, it's the editor of this video, and I know you're annoyed at my voice, probably, but I don't care. Anyways, this part was originally going to be a video, but Xavier lost a file for it and we never found it, so this is just going to be a voiceover explaining what happened in this point in Jamarcus Russell's career. I think you know what's going to happen, but we'll just play it anyways.
After that whole ordeal, that was the final straw, and on May 6th, 2010, Jamarcus Russell was officially released from the Oakland Raiders. After that, he had to pay back the Raiders organization tons of money that was already given to him via his contract, and he had made multiple attempts to get back into the NFL with no success at all. Nowadays, we as a sports community and society have all come to the conclusion that just because someone was drafted #1 overall in a draft, that doesn't mean that they are destined to become the next superstar. And Jamarcus Russell will forever be a prime case of that statement. Now, originally, we was going to put him in the garbage tier, but you know what? He is way too terrible for that. So instead, he gets his own tier, the below garbage tier. And that's where Jamarcus Russell belongs.
Know your place, trash.
With the third pick in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Matt Ryan,
Oh my god. I think I just threw up from how bad that camera quality is. Seriously. That is some awful camera quality. Whatever, let me just get to the section before I throw up some more. Now, pretty much anybody in the next year's draft was going to be better than Jamarcus Russell. And the next pick was definitely not an exception. With the third pick in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons selected Matt Ryan from Boston College. He would spend 14 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons until he was traded to the Indianapolis Colts in 2022. With over 59,000 passing yards, over 360 touchdowns, only 170 interceptions, an Offensive Rookie of the Year, an Offensive Player of the Year, an MVP, and a Super Bowl appearance, he is building up an impressive resume for himself. With that being said, I don't think he makes the Hall of Fame just yet. Maybe give him like a year or two, and a year without choking, like the biggest lead in NFL history. He should be in the Hall of Fame, but for now, we are going to put him in the elite tier.
With the first pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Matthew Stafford, quarterback, Georgia.
Just because a team or a franchise is bad, that doesn't mean the people who play on that team are bad. Some of the greatest players are stuck with the worst team, and that is surely the case with Barry Sanders, Kylan Johnson, and the #1 overall pick from the 2009 draft, Matthew Stafford. After the infamous 0-16 season accomplished by the 2008 Detroit Lions, they decided to get Matthew Stafford out of Georgia with the #1 overall draft pick in the 2009 draft. After the draft, he immediately signed a 6-year, $78 million contract with $41.7 million guaranteed, the most guaranteed to any player in NFL history. Until the very next year, when quarterback Sam Bradford signed a deal with $50 million guaranteed. Hashtag, okay, this is seriously enough foreshadowing. After that, he spent 12 years with the Detroit Lions as their starting quarterback and franchise player. However, despite him leading the Lions to 2 playoff runs in 2014 and 2016 and putting up amazing stats almost every single year while constantly battling injuries, his performances and efforts are constantly overlooked and often forgotten, all simply because he plays for the Lions. This team was also notoriously well known for wasting Hall of Fame careers, and it looked like that would be the same case for Matthew Stafford. That was until a miracle happened. During the offseason of 2021, Matthew Stafford was traded to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff, giving Matthew a second chance to show that he is truly a quarterback to be starting. Not only did he show that he was successful with his new team, but he also led his team to the playoffs, winning his first ever playoff game, defeating Tom Brady, making him retire for like a month, making it all the way to the Super Bowl, and eventually winning the Super Bowl. During his 14-year career in the NFL so far, he has done some amazing things, including making it to the Pro Bowl in 2014, becoming Comeback Player of the Year in 2011, and to this day holds 3 NFL records. Most fourth quarter comebacks in a single season, most passing attempts in a single season, and was the first player in NFL history to complete 60% or more of his passes in every game in a single season. So the next time you see a good player on a bad team and you say, wow, that player is actually really good and we should give him some more recognition, the man you can thank for that statement is Matthew Stafford, and which is why it is an honor to place him in the elite tier.
With the first pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Sam Bradford, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Going back to first overall picks, we have Sam Bradford, the highly touted quarterback out of Oklahoma. He played his 8-year career with the St. Louis Rams, Philadelphia Eagles, and Arizona Cardinals. With 19,000 yards, 103 touchdowns, 61 interceptions, and a 62% completion percentage, he was building up a pretty solid resume for himself, if it weren't for one thing. He got injured a lot. If he wasn't injured, he may have been able to bring a better impact on the field, but because of those injuries, he was relegated to being a backup quarterback, and that may have derailed his career to a point of no return. Now, because he was injured a lot, and he didn't get the best chance of playing on the field, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I am going to put him in the above average tier.
Well, that just about does it for this part. So, yeah, we had to cut this up into a bunch of parts. But don't worry, this might be the end of part 2, but come back a little bit later for part 3 and part 4 of this huge project. And trust me, it's gonna get good. Yeah, something that we forgot to mention, this video took more than 7 months to finish. So, yeah, if you would like to subscribe or leave a like down below, you don't have to, but it'll be very appreciated. And if you do, we'll give you chicken nuggets. Until next time, BigX out. Peace!